So to
Excellent.
begin to, yeah, so to jump off here, um, what are some of the things that um, you see contractors doing that are just not really effective with regards to photo? Because we do, people put photos of their work on Facebook, and a lot of times they're trying to do it themselves. And I want to give our viewers a way to improve their process a little bit. So what's maybe, let's start with the biggest mistake that people are making when it comes to photography. You want to take this first, Steve?
Sure. Well, doing it themselves. I think a lot of times people just don't have an idea of what they want to accomplish. I mean, they may have painted something, so they take a picture of a wall because they're proud of that wall, but the wall fits in with something else. It fits in with the overall scene. Aaron's a master at walking into a house or a building and seeing that whole, it's context. He's putting that whole thing together. I think that's a big mistake. I think a lot of people don't thoroughly think through what they want. They just pick up a cell phone and take a picture. And there's a way that if you stop and think and step back and uh, ask yourself what you want that picture to do, you'll come up with some sort of an answer that may help you.
Also, a lot of the photographs that you put out on social media, really, you have to think of them as branding images. So if you're not putting something that's special out there, somebody else is. So you're losing ground and potentially, market share. One thing, I think the biggest mistake is painting contractors are experienced and, they technically know what they're doing in order to, do the job properly. So they've learned things. They haven't learned how to do photography.
Yeah.
And where somebody's maybe painting for 10 years and then decides to open up their own shop, they've got a lot of background behind them, working for someone else, different experiences. They maybe failed at something, had some successes, but, was under somebody else's company. They go out on their own, they try to save a couple of dollars, and then they put up something that's kind of inferior, or it doesn't help their branding, or even worse, it hurts their branding, and they're not
Right.
known. They're not known as a top guy anymore. So I think that's one of the bigger mistakes.
Yeah. I remember in my early days, I was exactly that. I worked for another guy. It was the Great Recession. He decided to close the shop. That put me out on my own, and my first pictures were taken from a flip phone, and I expected that to be a good representation of my work. And then a couple years go on, and now we've got the iPhone 3G, and I'm taking pictures of that. Well, that's still not a great camera. It felt like it was at the time, but it really wasn't. And each year that I was taking photos on my own, I could just notice the degradation of the quality of the image, and I would be, nearly embarrassed by the photos of the past, right? And so what you guys are saying is that, if we're trying to save a couple dollars, that could actually hurt our brand in the long run. Whereas if we just hired somebody to come in and do a professional shoot, those pictures can actually last for years and years and be a standing testament to the quality and overall look of your job and the work that you do, right?